Hello and welcome. Today I have Mr. Linde here with me to help inform you guys about elephant and rhino poaching and kind of give you guys a little bit more in detail about it. And my first question for Mr. Linde is who is poaching the rhinos and elephants?
So currently, as far as poaching is concerned, it's mainly happening in Africa. If you look at it in an international level, it's being driven by an Asian market. Mostly China is driving the elephant poaching and the rhino poaching in those countries in Africa. However, it is happening primarily on the continent of Africa.
And my next question for you is who is buying the horn and ivory?
Same as the question before, China is the main demander.
Which one did I just ask you? Okay. What are some solutions to poaching crisis?
Like I said earlier, I believe first solution is education, regulation, and money is always going to be an issue. So somehow, some of these countries, these lower level third world countries, have to be able to generate income for their people. Where people don't have to do this for money, it's going to stop a lot of the problems that are going on.
Do you think this is a question not on the paper, but do you think that there's any way we can change the minds of like the Chinese and Vietnamese people?
Probably not. That in of itself is its own culture, and so changing their minds, it's going to be hard because you're taking two complete different cultures, and it comes back to where people's moral issues are and where they lie. But I think, if anything, we as an international society can come together and basically force China and the Vietnamese people to have to make laws on this, meaning they don't have any choice in the situation. I think that's about the only thing we can do.
Like how it was for like World War II. Do you think the media could help with poaching?
Absolutely, but again, what's going to drive the media to do that? It's got to be something that we see cause and effect, and in the United States, where we're not seeing that because it's not something that is a big deal here, because again, we're educated and we understand that it's not a good thing. But I definitely think media can encourage forces of good or forces of bad, and where it's not being covered as much as it probably should or being educated enough, I think at least spreading the word here to our people, it can definitely have a positive influence.
Okay, and some people don't really know. I've asked a lot of people. Some people don't know what elephant tusks and rhino horn are made of. Can you answer that?
Yeah, so it's just made of ivory, or it's called ivory, but it's just a compound in the tusk. And really all it is, back in the 1800s, early 1900s, it was considered kind of a delicacy, not in food ways, but in culture ways. So statues and different structures were made in these cultures. And so, and even in the United States, it was used for billiard balls and piano keys and stuff like that. So it really, in and of itself, is just a silly thing. That we're killing animals for their tusks is kind of a ridiculous thing, because it has no legitimate use whatsoever. It's completely an artistic driven market, and I just don't see how we can justify killing or even slaughtering animals at that rate for something like that. I can't justify it.
That's totally fine. Could dehorning and detusking be the solutions to the ones that are like in private holdings?
A solution, maybe. Do I think that would solve the problem? No. I mean, back in 1989, they actually opened up the market again after they had banned the trade of illegal ivory. The African nations opened it back up, but all that did was allow countries now to sidestep some of the process and break some of the laws. And so I don't necessarily think doing that is going to be the best solution to the problem.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Linde, for your time and for informing everybody about this issue. Is there anything else you need people to know about this?
No, really, like I said before, it just takes people being educated. So, my biggest thing is people learning about the issue, understanding the topic, knowing what it is, whether they decide to act or not, it's up to them, but at least understanding that this is a global problem and it does affect us in a lot of ways. And I think that people like you who are taking the time out of your life to make it a well-known topic and to try to educate people on it is a fantastic thing. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Cool.